Welcome back, everyone. It is Friday, June 13th in the MLB. We have 5 picks in this video ready for you guys. As always, it's Austin, joined by Logan. Logan, I'm sorry, man. I sold us yesterday. Patrick Corbin's under announced. We appreciate it. Great call there. Royals was a terrible read. They didn't even score. The one that really aggravated me was that Juan Soto SGP. He got walked first AB as we kind of predicted. He was under his bases, didn't have a single hit, and this final AB, of course, we can afford anything but 2+ bases, and of course he gets a double. Just a painful beat. That's kind of been our whole season. That was probably like plus 700 for him to get 2 bags, but it is what it is. We bounce back today on a Friday. Let's get things going. And today we have 5 picks. If we go 5-0, Logan and I are giving away $100 tomorrow. All you gotta do is like and subscribe. I've never felt more confident in a $100 giveaway not happening because I don't know if we're capable of a sweep, but you know what? Sprinkle the good vibes, like and subscribe. Let's go 5-0. I'll begin. One of my favorite player perhaps of the day. We're going back to the outs market, one that's been good to us recently. Let's talk about Logan Webb. I'm taking his under 18.5 outs, minus 145 on DraftKings. A little bit more juice than I want to lay here on an outs prop, but any prop, I don't mind playing at minus 150 or lower. I honestly think this should be closer to 17.5, juiced on the over. I think he goes 6, but going into the 7th against the Dodgers is a tough task, and you basically have to pitch perfectly for him to get there. And I know Logan Webb has been dominant, and that's kind of what he does, but he's on the road in Dodger Stadium, where we know the Dodgers are an annoying offense. They take a lot of pitches, and I think they can hit him pretty well. We'll talk about the splits they have against Logan Webb. But as I said, Logan Webb, under and outs. Let's talk about him. Now, like I said, he has been dominant at home, but he's not an Oracle Park. He's on the road here. And if you want to look at his splits, this season he's under this line in 7 of 14 starts. But if you throw him on the road, he's under in 5 of 7 road starts. If you look at last year, he's under in 19 of 34 starts. But again, you're looking at the home road splits last season. 2.83 ERA at home, 234 batting average allowed. On the road, 4.11 with a 280. You look at this season, 1.36 ERA at home, a 3.95 or 3.95 ERA on the road. What it really comes down to is walks per 9 and his strikeouts per walk ratio. In fact, last season, 4.9 strikeouts to walk ratio. On the road, 2.74. So he's not having the same command. This season, 6.86 compared to 5.3. He's actually striking out a lot of guys. This is his best strikeout season since 2021. In fact, he's been very heavy reliant on the strikeouts this season at a 28.5K percentage, his highest since 2021. Normally he's in like the 20 to 22%, but again, he has a pretty high strikeout rate. But as I said, you're throwing him back on the road. The strikeouts haven't been there, and he tends to walk a batter or two, which isn't normally his game. We saw as a result last season, Webb was under this line in 14 of 19 road starts, and as I said, 5 of 7 so far this season. And if you want to look for some good hitter matchups, the Dodgers have seen Webb a ton, and a lot of them have really good splits against him. As a team, they've seen him 217 plate appearances, a 10% walk rate, a 328 batting average, 324 expected batting average, and only a 15% K rate. So again, he's been 28.5% this year. They only own a 15%. He's faced them 16 times in his career, starting around 2019. He's only gone 7 or more innings pitched in 2 of those 16 starts. So going under this line a lot. And as I said, they've seen him a ton. Webb, look at the on-base percentage of the batters he likely sees. Leading off, Ohtani, he's got a 500 on-base percentage. Behind him, Mookie Betts, 432. Freddie Freeman, 436. Teoscar, only 286. But then you got Will Smith at 361. Muncy at 455. Edmund, 313. Kike, 571. I mean, these are a lot of these guys that are going to be in there, and I think they're going to make him work. And honestly, if he goes over this line, I tip the cap, he's going to have to pitch perfectly. But given he has a hits allowed line at 6.5, an earned runs line at minus 130 for 2.5, if he even gets close to either of those two lines, I think they're running up the count. The Dodgers, I think, see the 3rd or 4th most pitches per plate appearance. Webb's going to have some really efficient innings to get over and into the 7th inning. I trust the Dodgers to make him work, and I think he'll go under 18.5 outs. That would be my first play of the day. But look, you've been dialed on in. You don't have an outs prop today. You have a hits allowed prop, and boy, do I hope it's Max, because man, do I hate this market. But I'm trusting you, man. I really like the pick. Where are we going?
Yeah, I mean, you might hate the market, but I really love this pick. It's going to be Kevin Gausman of the Blue Jays, under 5.5 hits allowed, minus 120 odds on DraftKings. Look, when it comes to hits allowed market, it can be a hard market to gauge. I have a few rules. Number one, I do not take an under 4.5 hits allowed. I don't care what pitcher it is. 5 hits is doable for pitchers, but I take an under 5.5 hits allowed because 6 hits is tough for some pitchers to even give up because some of them don't even make it to allow 6 hits. I really like Gausman today. We're backing him to have a solid outing in Philadelphia. I think this line is just a little bit overinflated too, because we saw what the Phillies have done most of the season against righties at home. That's typically where they thrive as an offense. We saw what they obliterated Ben Brown, but that's not a good gauge because Ben Brown sucks. Kevin Gausman's a good pitcher, and the Jays entered this game with a rested bullpen too. If he finds trouble in the later innings, they will pull him. The Blue Jays are not one of those teams that run their starters unnecessarily into the ground. They will pull Gausman if he is struggling versus this Phillies lineup. Also, this line I think is just a little too inflated too. 5.5 hits allowed. It's tougher to do than you think. And Gausman has been great against left-handed batters. When analyzing matchup versus the Phillies, the number one thing I check is how they do against lefties. He's only allowing a 196 batting average to left-handed batters. That's important because he will face several lefties in this lineup. Stott, Schwarber, sometimes Marsh, Kepler. There's several lefties he will face in this lineup. And if he can get those guys out, I will live with the damage that the righties can do, the Bohm, the Turner, etc. I think, though, Gausman does navigate through those lefties. And even though his road ERA is higher, his batting average his batting average allowed on the road is lower at 211 batting average allowed. Pretty solid. And that's what we care today. Look, I mean, if he walks a few guys, allows a 3-run home run, that's okay. We're not on the earned runs market. If he pitches well and still gives up 6 hits, and it's just a brutal beat. And I'll live with it, honestly, at this point. Gausman, 79th percentile in chase percentage, 64th percentile in K percentage. He's good at getting these hitters to chase. And the Phillies, as a lineup, they sometimes get a little too aggressive at the plate. I've seen it before. I mean, this is my team. I know them very well. And they do strike out. Phillies, 249 batting average, 2 right-handed pitchers this month. But we have to remember what they did in that Toronto series when Barrios and Bassett cooked them. Those 2 pitchers went under that hits allowed line. If they had, the 5.5 hits allowed line, what Gausman has today, each of those went under it. The only one we don't want to talk about is Bowden Francis because, he got obliterated by the Phillies. But that's a righty that I don't equate to them. Gausman is better than Barrios and Bassett. I mean, I don't care what you want to say. He is the better pitcher than those 2. So he's the best of the Blue Jays pitchers that the Phillies will face. They haven't seen him yet. And I think he has a solid outing today. In terms of the caliber pitcher, I'm riding with Kevin Gausman today. Love this as my favorite pitcher prop of the day. Hopefully you can stay hot on those. But Austin, what else are you rolling with?
Yeah, go Kevin Gausman. I think he can lock in and get it done for us. Walk 10 batters. We really don't care. Just don't give up those hits. Let's go to the both 1+ first 5 parlay. We've been doing these. We've been really successful on them. Today we only have one today, but it's in 2 games. I expect some runs early and often. And hopefully you can tail this on DraftKings or BetMGM. As always, here are the 2 games that I'm going to. Angels and Orioles and Padres and D-backs. I wouldn't be shocked if we're back to Padres and D-backs going forward because those are 2 offenses that I trust, regardless of who even is the pitcher on the mound. I trust those 2 offenses to come through. Angels, this might be my final straw. If you can't score against Charlie Morton today, you might have to hang it up. But as I've talked about before, the Angels, for whatever reason, they can't hit at home. But on the road, they seem to be good. Since May, they have the second highest WRC plus versus righties. All it takes is one bad pitch from Charlie Morton, which he's made plenty of those this season. He has been better as of late. But again, a hitter-friendly ballpark, hitter-friendly weather. It's going to be like 90 degrees at first pitch in Baltimore. I trust them to score at least the Angels. We just need 1. I don't need 4, just 1 run. And then Baltimore, they need to score against Jack Kochanowicz, who's given up 4 runs in 4 straight starts. They saw him earlier this year. He pitched actually pretty well against them, but at home, I trust the O's against a righty. And then as for the Padres and D-backs, you have Stephen Kolek against Ryan Nelson. Now, both these 2 guys have had good starts. Now, I do want to say these are 2 offenses that are going to be tough to shut out through 5. I mean, we think about Kolek. He's pitched really well his last 2 starts, not against the greatest competition. He has struggled versus lefties this year, and we know the D-backs have plenty of lefties to throw in there. They have Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll. We'll see if Pavin Smith is in there. Josh Naylor. They have so many in there. Perdomo will be in there as well at the bottom. So again, I think they can go get the job done. And as for Ryan Nelson, we need him to give up a run. He's been really good, but is coming off a 7-run start in Cincy. He's been pretty good at home, though. I'll give him that. But this is the Padres offense. We know his talent up and down the lineup. We have Fernando Tatis, who's been cold recently, but he's still a talented bat or rise. You have Machado. We have Merrill. I mean, this is a Padres team that has seen him really well as well. 8 starts versus the Padres, 5.61 ERA for Ryan Nelson. I trust both these 2 games to have some runs early and often for offenses. 1 run through 5, minus 128 on BetMGM. I want to say it was like in the mid minus 130, minus 133 ish on DraftKings. So take it there. Then I have a 2-leg parlay, 2 pitcher props, a little bit too juicy for me to play individually. So let's parlay them and get a Friday winner. It's Carrot Crochet of the Boston Red Sox under 2.5 earned runs, parlayed with Jacob deGrom of the Texas Rangers over 17.5 outs, plus 139 on Bet365. For whatever reason, DraftKings wasn't listing the Rangers game. I don't really know why, but they'll list it eventually. deGrom should get a 17.5 outs line there. Might be a little bit juicy, but I'd still take both of these 2. Now, if you're talking about matchups, this is plus 139 on Bet365, another 1-unit play. Garrett Crochet's coming off a bad start. 5 earned runs allowed to the Yankees. Well, he has a chance to right his wrongs because he's back in Boston this time, taking on the Yankees. Now, the Yankees have been a really good offense against lefties, but I don't know. I feel like something's about to give here because if you look at the Yankees' first 5 team total, it's 1.5, and it's not like it's juiced to minus 140. It's minus 115. I just don't see how that could be free if Crochet is going to get tagged for 3 earned runs. And we know Crochet, one of the best pitchers in baseball. He just faced this lineup. Obviously, whatever game plan he had going into it wasn't the right one. I would expect him to make some adjustments, and I think he can go out there and pitch decently well. Does he, shut them out? Maybe not. But if he wants to pitch more carefully and maybe around the nickel and diamond them, sure, go around, nibble around the zone for all I care. You can walk some guys if you want, run up that pitch count. Just don't give up a 2-run home run or 3-run home run. But I think he pitches well. And as for Jacob deGrom, he has been dialed in. He's looking like his old self. He's been really, really good. In fact, over his last 4 or 5 starts, he's been great going over this line in 4 or 5. 3 of those starts, he went 7 or more innings pitched. He's been super efficient. 2.12 ERA, 0.92 whip. He's been really good at home as well with a 1.69 ERA. We've seen 3 of the last 4 righties to face the White Sox have gone 6 or more innings pitched. Yesterday, they faced Framber Valdez and ran up his pitch count, but he's a lefty. Today, they'll get the righty in Jacob deGrom, and we've seen 3 of the last 4 go over this, and they're not like they're great pitchers. Michael Wacha, Lorenzen, Ryan Gusto, all those guys going over their line. There's no reason I don't think Jacob deGrom could go out there and get a 6 innings pitch. So again, 2-leg parlay here. I think Crochet pitches well. I think deGrom pitches well. Let's cash his little parlay. I also like Crochet's over and outs, but he's had plenty of starts this year where he has gone under in earned runs and not gone 6 because maybe he's just not being super efficient. Could be the case today if maybe he's being a little bit more around the zone instead of in the middle of the zone where the Yankees obviously tagged him. They've been good against lefties, but I think Crochet pitches well today. So I like his under earned runs. I like deGrom's over and outs. If you wanted one more stat on Mr. Crochet, the last start, as I said, 5 earned runs, but prior to that, he had gone under that line in 7 straight. I'd expect him to bounce back today. So I really do like that parlay. And final play of the day, we're going back to the strikeout sheet. It'll be posted in the Dub Club for a half-unit play. I swear if we just unofficially but officially tracked it as the record, we would be dominating. But it seems like whenever we add it to the record, it seems to lose. But we really like today's matchup, so we'll go with it. It has cashed the last 2 days unofficially. Hopefully it can cash today. We'll have it live a little bit posted in the Dub Club. Again, you can join for only $5. Check that out. Links are down below. Those are our favorite picks. Our NBA video was posted last night. Go check that out. We should have a ladder challenge posted in a little bit, as well as a long shot parlays video for Game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight. Either way, good luck. If we go 5-0, we're giving away $100. Like and subscribe. I'd love to give away $100 tomorrow. Balls in your court, MLB. Let's have a day. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.